Every time they got undressed, he reminded her that sex isn't love. "This isn't love," he would say, holding a hand up in front of his heart. "This stays here. Tomorrow I'll forget all about this and it'll be like it never happened." Mira sighed because although she understood the words he was saying, she knew that familiar hunger for something so enormous, so massive it didn't even have a word, wouldn't go away tomorrow. That's an excerpt from the chapter I'm working on that's supposed to go with this piece, which I am shamelessly making and of which I am also ashamed. So now let me show you. Last week when I was drafting this, Lilith told me, make the figures closer and make it bloody. I still need to work on the figures and get better reference images, but this week I wanted to decide on the composition so I know what it's going to look like overall. But there's something I want to ask your guys' opinion on. So I kind of have two variations of what the overall composition is going to look like. One of them is very close up. The figures are closer and it's like the table is like right there. The other one is this one. And it's further away, but it shows more of the room that they're in. So what do you guys think? Which one do you think is better? Because on the one hand, I want to show it closer. I want it to feel like it's happening right there. But on the other hand, I also do want to show more of the room that they're in, because the room is gonna be, it's gonna have a lot of detail and it's not gonna be luxurious like palace, which was my original idea. It's gonna be more like dacha, like cabin, but like luxurious in the nature that it's located in. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Closer one or version 2. Like I said before, this work is a spell against scarcity, among other things. And it has been challenging me a lot since I have been struggling with scarcity lately. And I also know that I'm making yet another work that is going to be censored, so parts of my mind are telling me not to do it and make something more likable instead. But some elements of this piece did show up in my life unexpectedly last weekend, which made me feel like I'm on the right path. At any rate, I feel like I have to go through with it, even if it never makes it to the gallery walls, because something occurred to me. This work is also a spell against shame. In all the Abrahamic faiths, menstrual blood is considered unclean. You don't touch a woman while she's bleeding, so the woman who is bleeding is made to feel unclean just by virtue of being a woman. And then you start to feel like you're not worthy of love, and you start trying so hard to earn it, and you become so starved and so trapped in scarcity cycles that you submit to things you otherwise wouldn't submit to, and you think that patriarchal validation will solve everything, and that's how you end up in marriage psychosis. But we'll talk about marriage psychosis in the next video. Going back to the topic of blood, the blood is actually one of the main characters here. In contrast to menstrual blood, which is considered so unclean, the blood of Christ is sacred in Christianity. In church, every Sunday, we literally drink the blood of Christ, but we don't drink the blood from the woman's No, we don't even touch that, even though that is actually the source of human life. And the hypocrisy really just goes to show that all this shaming is a distraction from the fact that menstrual blood is incredibly powerful. And that's why the patriarchy was so terrified of it. Menstrual blood is sacred too, and that's why this work had to be bloody. The title of it is All I Want Is Everything, and that also includes things that are, well, it just includes everything, even what is considered unclean. I'm still working on the chapter, but let me continue reading where I left off. Mira sighed again. Okay, maybe this wasn't that kind of love. Either way, she felt that the fruits of what she truly desired were hanging ripe and heavy above her head, about to burst.